Hello everyone, welcome to Abnormal Investigations. I want to thank everybody for all the merchandise that you all have bought off of our store. Man, we've sold a lot of merchandise. The hoodies are going fast. We got another thing that they're almost back behind on hoodies, so we appreciate your support. I never thought the store would go like that, guys. It's really amazing what y'all are doing, and we really appreciate it. Also, if you have not joined our AI Seeking the Truth group, I would recommend you try that out for some off-the-rails stories. There will be a drop on it today, and the link will, well, the actual video will probably be dropped in the Facebook page, and I'll also put it on the YouTube community page. All right, guys, we got an encounter here. This one comes out of France, and I'm probably going to say the name wrong, but I believe it's Artichis or Artish. I'm not sure, but I'm sure somebody will know. But we're going to go ahead and get into it. I love these over the seas, across the pond encounters because I believe they're all connected. I've been visiting the same summer holiday destination for 14 years. The Artiche, I'm guessing, region in southern France. My family and I stay on a camping site near the ancient village perched on a mountain. The village is slowly becoming a ghost town as younger residents move to the city, leaving behind mostly elderly folks. One fascinating aspect of this village is that many residents still believe in the existence of werewolves, or the loup-garou in French. This belief likely stems from the infamous 17th century werewolf trials in France, which resulted in execution of over 40,000 people accused of being werewolves. During my visits, I often explore the village, taking photos of the beautiful old buildings. However, after learning about the village's beliefs in werewolves, I became curious and decided to ask one of the locals about it. The man I spoke to was initially kind, but became nervous and secretive when I asked him about the werewolf legends. He invited me to his backyard where he shared a strange story. According to him, the village has been harboring a dark secret since World War II. It's allegedly part of the werewolf territory. The man claimed that the werewolf has never attacked humans but has been heard howling during full moons. Sometimes cattle would go missing or be found killed. While wildlife encounters are common in the area, the man insisted that the villagers know the truth about the werewolf's presence. Intrigued, I decided to explore the village at night, hoping to catch a glimpse of the mysterious creature that everyone talks about. As I walked through the silent streets, I heard a wolf-like howl in the distance. The sound was none like any I'd ever heard in the States, and I stood still trying to listen more closely. The howling grew louder and closer, and I could feel my anxiety rising. Despite my fear, I was determined to see the creature. Suddenly, a long, airy shadow appeared on the road in front of me. The shadow had pointy ears, a crouched body, and a long snout. As I looked up, I saw a dark figure perched on a roof, matching the shadow's description. The creature jumped down from the roof and landed on the road about 50 meters away from me. I could see that it had a wolf-like head, but its teeth seemed larger, and its muzzle was wider than a normal wolf's. The creature's eyes glowed with an icy blue light that reflected from the moon, and its body seemed to be a perfect blend of human and wolf. It stood on all fours, but its shoulder height was comparable to that of a Siberian tiger. The werewolf's fur was deep brown color, and its muscular forelegs seemed designed for grabbing prey. I stood frozen, amazed rather than scared. I remembered that it's essential to maintain eye contact with the wild animals and not turn your back on them. So I started walking backwards while keeping the werewolf in my sight. The creature began to follow me, snarling and walking slowly. I quickened my pace, trying not to lose sight of the werewolf. As I neared the edge of the village, I felt a mix of relief and fear. The werewolf halted at the village boundary, and I realized that it might not have wanted to leave its territory. I backed away slowly, keeping the creature in sight, until I was about 150 meters away. Then the werewolf turned and ran back into the village. I sprinted back to the campsite, constantly looking over my shoulder to ensure I wasn't being followed. When I arrived, panting and shaken, my parents asked what had happened. I shared my story with my mom, who confirmed hearing strange howling sounds coming from the woods. The next day, I returned to the village to speak with the man who had first told me about the werewolf. I told him about my encounter with the werewolf, and he revealed that he had seen me that night and had been following me. "You're lucky to have seen it and lived," he said. "The werewolf is a mysterious creature. It is not just a mindless beast. It's a creature driven by desire for justice and for blood." I was stunned. "Justice and blood?" I asked him. "What do you mean?" The man smiled. "That, my friend, is a story for another time." As I prepared to leave the village, the man approached me again. "You're leaving, I see," he said, and I nodded, and I told him yes, that we had to go back to the States. The man smiled at me, and he said, "I'll see you again." And I told him, I said, "I don't think we're coming back next year. I think we're going to go somewhere new." And he smiled again, and he said, "I'll see you before next year, my son." And I told him, "Why was you following me the other night?" And he looked me straight in the eyes and said, "Why was you looking for something you really didn't want to find, and now you have?" He turned and walked away laughing. I went back to my parents, we packed our bags, and we left. We arrived in the States, back to our log cabin where we live in Missouri, and now we're hearing the same howl that we heard in France. Could this possibly be the same thing? Has it followed us back, and was it him? Wow, that's a wild encounter. I don't know honestly anymore. Depending on what he was into, what he's capable of doing, if he is in fact something like that, then there's always that possibility. I would pray over my house, get some lights, stay aware. Um, Hopefully he's just trying to scare you, and he's not there for other reasons. What do you guys think? Do you think it followed him back, or do you think it's something else, or it's all just coincidence? Let me know in the comments what you all think. And also, guys, we're going to be doing an in-depth video coming up. It's probably not going to be dropped until around February or March, probably more March. We're going to dive into more of the things in the sky that we're not allowed to talk about on YouTube, that are getting rid of channels for that. It will be dropped on my Patreon only. So if you want to hear that interview and that discussion, which will be filmed, it'll be just like watching a live or a premiere. We will drop that in the Patreon because I cannot drop it on my channel, guys. If I do, they will demonetize and remove my channel. So if you want to see that, what we're going to be doing, that will be the place that you'll need to be. And also, you're going to have access to other things in there. You're going to have access to videos, photos, and everything else. So anyways, guys, thank you for supporting us. If you're interested in joining the Patreon to be able to see that drop we're going to have, the link is in the description of this video. I want to thank each and every one of you very much for your support. I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas. And remember, keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner. And until next time, guys, be careful and make sure nothing follows you home, even if you're overseas.